first off, you're absolutely right. The hardest part and the most important part is the connection, is the match between the candidate and the employer.
Hey guys, I am super excited to be here. I'm going to show you now a conversation that I had with Ilya Brotzky, founder and CEO of Vanhack. Ilya is dedicated to help support top talents from all around the globe to get their dream job. So if you are in the tech industry and want to pursue your dream, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this conversation. If you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe on this channel so you can get more content of this in the future. Let's go. Ilya, thank you very much for joining the channel today. I don't want to do any introduction. I would like to ask you if you can introduce yourself to everyone.
Sure. Thanks, Rodrigo. Excited to be here. So I'm Ilya. My name is Ilya Brotzky. I'm a founder and CEO at Vanhack. We are a company that helps tech talent get jobs abroad and connects employers with great senior developers from around the world. Been at it for about 5 years now and helped over 1,000 people get hired. And that's kind of the high level.
That's perfect. Really glad to have you here, as I said, Ilya. And although I asked you to introduce yourself, it's quite unusual to have someone from tech that don't know Vanhack. So, but it's just to make sure that everyone's in the same page, right? And Ilya, I have like a list of questions that I would like to pose to you, but the first one, I think the most important one, what is your feeling on the impact that Vanhack is generating to the way that companies can leverage talent professionals around the globe?
It's a trend that's been growing in the last years. When we started Vanhack and we started talking to companies about hiring developers who aren't in Canada or don't have their work permit, at least here in Canada, it was really difficult because the companies were not open to this. But I do think that this is a global trend of kind of, especially in tech, having more open borders and almost a global competition between different countries to attract talent and taxpayers, frankly, to their borders, to their countries. I do see that that's a trend that's happening more and more as the need for tech talent increases. Every company is becoming a tech company or is a tech company, so they need to hire developers, and most companies want those people to be close by. So the ability for them to get hired and move is a really exciting one for both sides, employers and candidates. We're just trying to speed up that trend that's accelerating, that's happening already. We're just trying to make it faster and help as many people as possible with their journeys.
More than accelerating this trend, you are changing the mindset for those who don't embrace this type of trends can be open to that also. So you are a changer in this world. This is my feeling about Vanhack today.
Yeah, we're trying to. I mean, a lot of times companies kind of already believe that there's great talent everywhere. A lot of times they don't. And so we have to explain to them, especially the operational kind of like logistics and visa. How does it actually work? What's the real step-by-step? Like that part, I think, is because people, they have a kind of it's hard, or this is like, there's a lot of paperwork or whatever. And people have biases, like foreigners are not so good at coding or whatever. They might have, and so we have to work on kind of changing those mindsets and showing them it's really not that hard, and the developers or the candidates from around the world are actually really, really good. So there's a little bit of work there, but you have companies like Spotify, Shopify, and Spotify too. They both sponsor Visa, and all the other like big companies. They do this all the time, right? Like Amazon goes to. Sao Paulo or Manila or whatever country and like rents a hotel room and interviews all the developers in the city and brings them all back to Vancouver or Seattle or Toronto or whatever their offices are. So like big companies already do this, but a lot of like mid-sized and small startups, they don't. So we have to show them that it's possible and help kind of hold their hand along the way.
No, that's perfect. Explain me one thing, Ilya. We know that it's very hard to find to match right what the company needs and
Mm,
the pool of talents that you have. And most of the time, it's not. I'm not sure if it's the case. I'm assuming not. There is a very technical interview process, very heavy to make sure that from a
mm,
technical perspective, this person is a good fit. But we know
yeah.
that to be a good fit, the technical perspective, the hard skills can be like 50%, sometimes even less, depends on the role that this person is applying. We do have all their soft skills, behavioral skills that needs to be taken into consideration to make sure that this match is 100%. Uh,
Mhm.
it, Vanhack also help in this group of skills to make sure that the match is 100%.
Yeah, we do. So we help with first off, you're absolutely right. The hardest part and the most important part is the connection, is the
Mhm.
match between the candidate and the employer. If we can do that efficiently, then we're going to have a successful business, and we're always trying to improve on this side of the business by getting more data from both sides and understanding exactly what employers need, getting feedback, etc. So yeah, we do communication and soft skills kind of screening. We have a coding test as well. We just hired
Mhm.
a technical screener to help improve our technical vetting of our candidates. So yeah, it's something that we're constantly working towards, and we do help with.
No, that's amazing. And do you guys measure? And I'm going to explain why I pose this question. We know that from on tech industries, the turnover can be less than 3 years, right? Between 2 to 3 years, there is an average of number of people that change jobs, and can be
Mm-hmm.
multiple reasons, right? The person didn't like the company, or they are looking for a higher salary, or there is infinite reasons to have someone resigning from the specific company. But this
Mm-hmm.
this can be decreased if the match from the beginning is doing the right way. So
Yep.
I I've been hiring people for many years, and during this, let's say, traditional way to do interviews, where the people come by and pose up a couple of questions. Sometimes there is a coding test. It's more like a impression, a perception of that specific person. Uh, and during the day-to-day job, we'll see if that person is a good fit. Not the best way to do, but it was the traditional way. But Vanhack has a very well structured process to do this match. Did you see any trends amongst the people that you are matching to the companies that the retention has increased? The people are staying longer in that companies, or you didn't see, or you guys don't measure this type of KPIs?
Yeah, great question. So I would say actually probably the average is less than between 2 and 3 years for tech talent, probably closer to 1.5, maybe even 1 year. So yeah, we did measure for our first 100 hires, just because we like we've only made 1,000. Well, only we made 1,000 hires, and a lot of those hires, like, they've only been in the job for 6 months to 1 year, so it doesn't really make sense to measure that and get the data there. But maybe we'll do the first 200 hires or 300 hires later on. But for now, we just did the first 100, and of those first 100, the average time was 2 years and 9 months, so 2.7 years. So we do see that candidates stay longer. I don't think that that's just because, like, our matching is so great. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the kind of candidates that we bring, which is these developers or international talent who relocates, this inherently creates a deeper connection between an employer and an employee or team
Mm-hmm.
member, because that company is sponsoring the person's visa, they're investing into them. The candidate is moving around the world, and they don't really want to move again. A lot of times they want to grow within the company, get a promotion, and kind of show that they can do a good job for 3, 4, 5 years, and then afterwards switch to something else if they want
Mm-hmm.
to. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the trend that we're seeing, is that people, when they enter this kind of, let's say, a new market, like a new country, let's say you move to Germany, and you're there for the first year, it's not going to be like, look pretty bad on you if you just leave right away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot of I think positives, and people actually often think that when you hire someone from abroad, they're just going to like use your company to get a visa and then leave. When it's actually the opposite case, where they actually stay longer, and kind of we hear a lot of feedback like this person is going above and beyond, and they're like super humble, hardworking, and kind of really just want to make sure they do a good job, and rather than like just someone comes in and is looking to get an extra 10K salary here and there, and just optimizing for that. So yeah, that's a big part of our value proposition for employers, and it again comes to the education, where we have to educate the market that contrary to popular belief, people who come from abroad, they don't just kind of skipping or using a company to immigrate. They're actually sticking around, doing a good job, adding a ton of value. I would say even more than someone who's local in some cases. So yeah, it's something that is a big part of our business. It's something we talk about a lot.
That's very good. It's just because I was talking about, of course, about you, Vanhack. Pretty much, I'm from Brazil, so living in Canada, pretty much everyone that I know knows Vanhack. So it's pretty common to have conversations about you. And I was having this conversation last month with one of my colleagues, and not from my current company, from another, from Brazil. And there is this misperception that we know the turnover can be a couple of years, 1.5, as you said, to 2, and this person mentioned, right? No, but this is a very good thing, because like these top firms that recruits can have more business. I said, no, it doesn't work like this. It's more meaningful for them to have the match as close as 100%, to have the companies trusting them to find the right candidates, to find the right talents, and not, okay, let's just push a lot of talents, leave them there for 1-2 years, then they will come back to us requesting for more, and there's more business. I said, no, that's not the way that I believe, right? And I'm assuming I am correct, and this is not the way that good relationship works. There is a trust situation that needs to be created between the big companies, the companies that are hired, Vanhack, to create this trust zone and make sure that those guys that I'm bringing from them, it's gonna stay here for a long time. It was a random discussion with this my colleague, but very insightful. Do you agree with that with me, Ilya?
Yeah, I look at it as long term, kind of a long term relationship with our hiring partners, which is what we call the employers. We work with the companies. So we use that term hiring partner as on purpose, because we do see it as a partnership, where it's not just like we make one hire and then 6 months later we take that same person and put them in another company. Like that's terrible, right? So this business, the HR and recruiting, it's a very much a reputation business. There's a lot of players in the market, and it's very crowded and very noisy and hard to know who's actually good and who's not. So we really work hard to defend and deliver on our reputation. And every hire really matters, and every company we work with matters. Every hiring partner we work with matters. So when companies come to us, even things like the guarantee, in recruiting, there's this the business model is pretty much like a contingency fee. You pay us when you hire someone, and then if it doesn't work out in the first 3 months, we refund you the fee. And a lot of times, it's 3.5 months, 4 months, and we still honor that, because it's all about the long term. Thankfully, that doesn't happen very often. 99% of our candidates make it past probation, and I think like 98% stay past 1 year, something like that. But we have always a long-term view, because we know that it's word of mouth. People talk travel. So if you do a bad job or something doesn't work out, or if one time we had a company say that, oh, you guys just after a certain amount of time you go back and try and put the candidates in another position, and we don't do that. So when that happens, we always try to investigate and understand what's going on. Like someone's spreading false information, or someone misunderstood something. Because I guess we do that because we have this kind of fortune, or our business model is that we have this global talent pool, right? A community of now over 200,000 people from over 170 countries. So we don't really have the same problem as a lot of the other recruiters out there, where they have more jobs than they have candidates. We have actually more candidates than we have jobs. So we can afford to I like to say, be long-term greedy, and have people, in like not have to go back to the candidates that we've helped hire. Of course, sometimes those people come back to us because they get let go or they're unhappy in their job. That's really, really rare. Most of the time, it's because they get let go because of financial reasons or COVID. We had a few people that kind of thing, but very rarely is it or never is it us going back to a candidate saying, "Hey, you've been at that job for 2 yeyears. Do you want a new job now?" Like, no, we don't even do that. Like, never.
That's perfect. I'm so glad to see that I was having the good reading of the company, so it's very good, very interesting to say, because another very positive thing that I've seen on this model is that you are raising the bar, right? In the past, we are used to look, okay, what are the companies that I have in my city or the neighbors, and I'm gonna attack that company. I know exactly what they need. I'm gonna study and be prepared for that specific thing. But now knowledge is worldwide. I can get information from any place. I can study anything because there's tons of online courses and pretty good ones, right, on that Coursera, Udemy. So knowledge is already spread around the world. What you are doing now is spreading the pool of talent that you can put together and say, guys, there is a very healthy competition now, and we are not competing against 20, 30 people from your college, from your university. There is a pool of hundreds of thousands people, very good, and you need to be very good. So be prepared. So you are raising the bar, making the talents continues to study and make themselves better, correct? There is a not necessarily direct impact, but you are forcing that against for everyone.
I mean, I don't think it's just us. I think it's a global trend that where like you said, there's great talent everywhere, and that talent wants to move to where they're going to be most rewarded. And thankfully, in tech, it's a very transferable skill, right? Like we say, code has no accents is one of our values, right? So if you can speak JavaScript, you can speak that and work with it no matter where in the world you are. I do think that there's it's a double-edged sword, right? Because there's maybe more competition from a global level, but on one side, but B on the other side, and I think much better is that there's this global opportunity, right? So now, as the developer who might have been born in, Buenos Aires, you're not only able you don't have to just work in Argentina or South America. You have opportunities and jobs in Europe, in US, in Canada, remotely or relocation. So it's yes, there's more competition, but there's so much more opportunity.
Exactly.
That you as a developer or talent, there's no reason why if you don't prepare and work hard and go towards your goal that you won't be successful. We've seen so many cases where people maybe didn't have the best English, maybe didn't have the best coding skills, they weren't really confident in themselves, and after, let's say, 3, 6, 7, 8 months preparing themselves, they get hired and they get that opportunity that they're looking for. So yes, there's more competition, but there's just so much more opportunity than before. Especially in the dev side and the senior developer side, just because every company now needs developers, because we're all online. You and I are talking virtually, but not every company, especially if you look at Canada as an example, or even let's say Canada, the Netherlands, Germany, these countries where there's so many companies opening offices there. There's so many companies that are from there growing, and all they need leaders. They need people to be the CTO, be the VP engineering, be the senior developer to mentor, train the youth. And those populations are so small, right? So Canada, only 30 million people. I don't know the population of Netherlands or Germany, but probably not such a big population. And then you look at how many people in those countries learned how to code 15 years ago. How many people, and how many of those people are still living in that country, or let's say how many of those people are looking for new opportunities. It's very small. So that's why there's this I would say global rush for cities and countries and governments to attract as many taxpayers and highly skilled workers into their countries. So yeah, anyway, it's just I think people shouldn't get discouraged, I guess is the point, where yeah, there is a global competition and global kind of talent pool that you're going after, or you're competing against. But the amount of jobs that are out there are like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 times more than there are talent.
No, in all the sides that you just mentioned are positive sides. Even if we are using the word competition, it's a health competition, which is good.
Yeah.
More opportunities, good thing also. So I'm pretty much struggling to see anything negative from this. So I can only see positive sides of this whole model. Just one doubt that I have, Ilya. So you guys have operations only in Canada, but also in Germany and in Netherlands?
Well, we don't really have like operations. Like we're a distributed company, so it's not like we have jobs in Europe as well. So
Okay.
Canada, Europe, as well as US remotely. So we have jobs in we've helped people get hired, I think, in like 15 countries. So Spain, Portugal, Malta, Luxembourg, Germany, the Netherlands, Canada, US remote. We even helped someone get hired in Brazil before. I think there's a few others that I'm missing. UK, well, there's probably a few other countries in there that I didn't say, but those are the kind of main places where there's a lot of great talent around the world, but those countries are the ones that have like open, like fast track visas for developers and a lack of talent.
That's perfect. That's perfect. If you would like to give some message to talent people around the globe that want to land like a perfect job for them, what would be your advice for these people?
I think that the biggest thing is that it's possible, to let them know that it is possible. A lot of people think that it's not possible, or it's super hard, or it's not for them, or someone else. It's for someone else. They're not good enough. I would just say that maybe it's not possible for you today, but it doesn't mean that you can't improve and learn and grow towards your goal and get there in 6 months, a year, 2 years, who knows. Look at it as a long-term process, like a marathon, not a sprint. You are changing your entire life and the life of your family forever. So it's a pretty big deal. It is worth it as well. There's a lot of work and sacrifice to put in, but like we had many Vanhackers and many stories of people staying up till 2, 3 in the morning, a couple times a week to prepare and study English, or really just like people dedicating themselves to make it happen. So you have to put in the work, but it's completely possible. There's many websites out there that can help. Vanhack, we're not the only one. There's a lot of other great companies that can help you. So just search as many places as possible for yourself. Hopefully we'd be the one that helps you, but if not, then hopefully we our content that we have on our YouTube channel and our platform, our courses will help you prepare and get hired.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for the invite, Rodrigo. Best of luck with the channel, and yeah, we'll keep in touch.
So guys, hope you have enjoyed this one. If you want more information, please check the description below. There's a lot of useful links there. And if you want to add any comments, please use the comment section below if you want to discuss any further. See you next week.